King Henry, will you do one thing for me? Will you open my right side and find my baby, and find my baby? Oh no, cried King Henry, that's a thing I never can do. If I lose the flower of England, I shall lose the branch too. I shall lose the branch too. There was fiddling and dancing on the day the babe was born, but poor Queen Jane, beloved, lay cold as a stone, lay cold as a stone.
I don't see a lot of money here.
It's the LIFERS podcast with Scott Lucas, Gabe Rodriguez, and Ben Reiser. And now, here's Scott, Gabe, and Ben.
What are you eating? Eating on the job there, Ben?
Yeah, I got a bag full of Swedish fish.
That sounds great on the
You were
podcast.
putting them down like they were popcorn. I got to get a bunch of these in my mouth.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start the podcast. So we're back in our studios, also known as our separate homes.
Back on home turf.
I'm surprised, Gabe. I'm surprised you made it back home.
I made it in one piece.
In that car, in that jalopy.
It was fine. Made a 2-day trip. Saw my dad on the way home in Mississippi, and here I am, back in Orange Park, Florida.
That's great. We got Gabe there, back in Orange Park, Florida. Is that where you said you live?
Yes, that's the address that's on all the shipments that you send to me.
I don't pay attention. It's like you with our emails.
It's at
Ben.
Orange Park. Is that named after our 45th president? What's going on here?
No, it's just a park that is orange. I don't know. It's just the city we picked.
Ooh. But Steve could think of some good bands from Orange
Steve
Park.
is sitting there like, why the fuck did I agree to be on this episode?
Ben's back in Madison. I'm back in Chicago. And Stv Slv is with us.
Hey,
Hello,
what's
Steve.
up? I'm here, also in Chicago.
Steve, are you campaigning to be a regular on the show, like just part of the panel?
I do. I'm not. First of all, I'm campaigning for nothing. But I like the idea. I like the Mahmood approach of being a panelist.
Wow.
Right. Well, here's what happened. So anybody that would have went to these shows, at least the ones in Chicago last week, would have been treated to Steve's, I don't know. I mean, he was like the fourth member of the band. He was doing all these like little audio drops. Somebody screamed out like, not screamed, but shouted out like, well, it's like a morning show. And I was like, yes, it is like a morning show.
We got Steve Reidell in the back.
Doing the
From everybody's favorite episode, our Genesis deconstruction.
Steve was on the Genesis episode. Okay, that's
extra
the last
loud.
fruity drink for at least 45 minutes.
Holy shit.
So Steve reached out the night before the show, like, hey, you guys need me to do anything?
It was pretty vague, and it was an incomplete email. This is the kind of email that if I was Gabe, I would absolutely ignore. It just said, do you need me to remix anything? My loose thought is like remix something from the first night and play it the second night. And Scott just wrote back, what? Which is a good indicator that I needed to be a little more verbose in my idea explanation.
Right.
Like I said, this was a very loose idea.
Right.
I didn't know. It just depended on what was going to happen. But you sort of turned it into a better idea, which was, sort of running the audio, doing the drops, and then I kind of took that and ran with it a little further. And it really, I listened back to it, and I was really getting loose with those shotgun sounds.
You were getting loose. We had you on the show, the Genesis show, which is what, number 5?
It was very early.
Yeah. Ben, number 5. I thought you remembered every number.
I think that's
for every
right.
episode.
I believe
Okay.
that's correct.
So Steve was talking about the other night, and that was the only episode that doesn't have somebody's name in it. Is that what it is? Like, you didn't even get your name on the episode, Steve?
I just assumed I wasn't famous enough.
I don't know that that's true, though. We did one about the 3x5 tour. Did we put that guy's name on the show? Maybe we did.
Maybe
Did you say that? Did you say that guy's name?
Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name.
Sounds like a no.
It was Phil.
We can always edit these and add the names later and act like it was always there.
Excuse me. We also recently, episode number 114 was called Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. So there's nobody's name on that either.
Yeah, but
Was there a guest?
that was somebody who really wasn't.
There were
famous.
guests. My daughter was a guest, and also
Call me when
Lifers-
she's got her own show.
Lifers number 113, What's the Best U2, did not have somebody's name on it.
That was a part 2, though.
So tonight, let's right those wrongs. So in order to right those wrongs with you, Steve, we have to ask you a little bit about your past.
Okay, so tonight I'll be a guest on the Lifers podcast,
Right.
featuring Steve Reidell.
Right.
Oh, good. We get to say Steve Reidell, because I don't understand. First thing you can explain is this whole Stv Slv thing, and because I don't know the backstory.
All right. First of all, let's
go.
Let's thank everybody that was at the shows last week. It's only been a week. It's kind of weird. It feels like forever ago. But we've played 3 shows, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Madison, and I think that they were successes.
We didn't bomb.
Right. It wasn't a total bomb.
Yeah, you were afraid because you saw that episode of Smartless where they bombed in front of the crowd in Boston. You said, this could be us any day now. We did 3 shows and everybody had a good time.
Did you go back and watch all the episodes? Are you a big Smartless fan now?
No, I just
'Cause
remember.
I didn't show you that episode.
You talked about it. Okay. I'd never watched it, and I still not going to watch it. I'm offended by it. But anyway, we had 3 memorable nights that I'll, always cherish. Those will be our first shows ever. If we ever get to do it again, those are the firsts.
Cherish. You'll always cherish 3 memorable nights at your. What happened?
Those were.
In my bedroom.
What were you saying, Ben?
I was saying that night number 3 in Madison was our earliest ending of the night. I think we were at Ian's Pizza at the end of our night at like 1:45 in the morning. And when I got home,
tired.
after I had pounded down 2 slices of pizza, I was tired. I was exhausted. I could not believe what we had just done for 3 nights in a row. The shows, getting all prepped for the shows and doing the shows, putting out that energy during the shows, and then the after parties. Oh my God. But
Putting out that energy, huh?
Yeah, putting out
Sitting down, sitting on a couch, putting out that energy. You're offending somebody here.
Am I? Yeah. Well, what it made me think, first of all, was how the fuck does Scott do it?
All right. But the after parties is what wiped you out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. The rock and roll bowling, going
Liars
to
Club.
Delilah's with Herb. Oh yeah. Right. Liars Club.
What was louder, rock and roll bowling or Liars Club?
Absolutely rock and roll bowling. But by the next day, I was like, when can we do this again? I was like, let's go. I'm ready for more. I had recharged and let's do it again.
Yeah, it was good. I was surprised. I was really playing it up that why are we doing this? But I was, it certainly exceeded my expectations of how well it was going to go. And we got to finally get Chips Enough on for Ben.
Yeah.
He rode you around in his car?
He didn't ride me around, but he made me sit in it and pose for pictures behind the wheel. Is it a Porsche? It's a Porsche something Speedster. I don't know anything about cars. But it
So
was.
you didn't see that coming at all?
No. God, no.
There wasn't, because there was a couple of points where Gabe was like, I think Ben's onto us.
You were
I think he
asking a lot of
knows.
questions when Herb was there getting ready to mix drinks and stuff. When you were like drilling him and like, well, what's going to happen tonight? And I'm like, I hope Herb knows that Ben doesn't know he's going to be. He's not the guest.
No, I was trying to prep for Herb. I was like, okay, what are we doing with Herb? How are we going to make this an interesting episode with Herb? Then I was dealing with Scott, who kept like escorting us downstairs. Scott was acting weird. And this was my first live show with Scott. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. I guess this is how he is before a show. Like all wound up and like focused on something that I can't.
And by the way, after
figure out.
3 shows with you, the asking question things, Gabe, that was not an anomaly. But go on. Well, Ben kept wanting to go like, I want to go upstairs. I want to watch the show. I'm like, no, you can't. You know, at some point, Chip is going to show up, and I'm not sure exactly. So, you know, everything has to be the way it is, and then you guys have to be on stage. Once you're on stage, Chip can come in. And so during the opening acoustic set, I see my phone go off, and it's Chip. And he's like, I'm here, bro. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I've still got like 20 minutes of this thing. They're out there in the front room at G-Man. He's going to walk into the front room at G-Man. So I give a look at Kelly, and I'm just kind of like, and then she looks up at me and goes, oh, he's outside. Gets up, goes out there, parks him, does everything. Worked out. And the look on your face, pretty good. That's it.
Yeah.
No more surprises. No more.
Not for me, but
we surprised me with Rick Froberg. We surprised both of us with Tommy Stinson.
Yeah.
We surprised Ben with Chip Enough. And one day, Scott, we're going to get you.
Nope.
One day.
No, that's enough. Enough is enough, guys.
What's the Scott surprise list? Oh, wait, maybe you don't want to reveal it.
No, we don't want to reveal that. But I was thinking of one this week.
Oh, yeah? Billy Idol?
Would that be a big surprise for you?
No.
He nodded yes.
No, it's not. So back to Steve. So Steve,
how were the shows for you? Hang on a second.
as he is
Who cares
one,
about
yeah.
this?
How were your shows? Right.
Well, so I mean, you know, despite launching all those sounds, I was watching it from the back at G-Man both of those nights, and I thought they were great. I thought it like flowed very naturally from the podcast version to the live show version. It is. I had listened to the Kyle Kinane episode where you were sort of, you know, worried about should we be doing this, and it's a valid concern. You know, like a live podcast could be genuinely awful, and I think it was the opposite of that. Like audience loved it. Like it felt really good.
Yeah.
You guys should
Total
be proud.
surprise. Total surprise.
That's what Scott got surprised by, is that it went well.
It went well.
I'm just glad we didn't have any poop jokes, really. And we had a successful run.
What were you talking about? You sent a text the other day, like, who knew we'd be doing this and that and having bits and talking about where come from? What are you talking about?
I said, whoever picked live podcasts, jokes about and something else for the Gabe bingo card, you're the winner. You know what I'm talking
Listen,
about?
we've never talked about on this show.
At the live show on the last night playing Cards Against Humanity, I had the card, the Trump card, the card.
I blacked that out. I blacked that.
And it didn't even go over that great. What went over, I thought was funny, was my reaction to seeing the card. And then I used it and it bombed. But either way, I still won the game.
It's not an inherently funny game, but seeing you react to those cards and read those cards is funny.
It's about the delivery.
But that reminds me, thanks for coming out, everyone, to Madison. I was a little worried about turnout for that show, but that room,
yes, me too.
That room was full, and it was a lively, fun crowd. It was great.
Yes, it was great. Got to see our friend Kathy. We got to see our friend Rick Ness. He came out.
Yeah,
Jerry
did you see
Newbrow?
Rick Ness and I talking for like 2 hours at Mickey's, like from midnight till?
Yeah, he kept giving me that look to save him, and I was like, nah. Screw you.
I was going to say that Joe Shanahan seemed genuinely bummed out that Herb wasn't there the second night at G-Man to mix drinks.
He gets over stuff like that.
Okay, Steve.
Back to Steve.
What's up? What's up? Back to me.
Go ahead, Scott.
Back to Steve.
Yeah.
Your question, Ben.
What was
Poor
my
Steve.
question? Oh, my question. You want me to ask Steve a question?
Sure. Where we left off. Gabe, who do we have on the show tonight?
The folks at home, we have Steve Reidell. No relation to Chuck Reidell or Bill Reidell or the Reidell helmets. I don't know who those people are.
I don't know who
Steve
those people
Reidell,
are.
also known as Stv Slv. We have no idea why. He's going to tell us.
It was an old, like a nickname from high school that turned into a college radio DJ name that turned into a later in life DJ name, and like one of the cool ones with no vowels, Stv Slv. So when I started working at the Metro in 2005, and I would DJ like downstairs in Smart Bar after shows, like when they would do those kind of like, if it was a Monday or a Tuesday and they would have DJs downstairs, that's the name I was using. So that name just sort of stayed with me. I use it sometimes. Sometimes
Great.
I use my real name. It's
I
not
use it
very
all the time.
interesting.
I'm not calling you Reidell ever.
Is
Never.
it
Reidell is a pretty cool name. Steve Reidell sounds nice.
Reidell High?
Yeah, Reidell High. That's the number one thing where people are like, "Have you ever heard this before? Has anyone ever said this to you before?" And I'm like, "Yes." I don't know what are the Reidell helmets. I know
Football
the
helmets.
skates. Oh, they do football helmets.
I
spell it
don't know
fucked
what
up?
it is. There's a story about Reidell name on the football helmet. The punky QB, Jim McMahon from the 8. How old are you? You're 40?
44.
You don't remember Jim
Punky
McMahon?
QB.
Come on. We're going to be talking about 80
remembers.
stuff later. You can't be that young.
I don't know about his helmet. I don't know. I know about the skates. I know about the wine glasses. That's spelled differently too. And that's about it. But I got none of those. You know what? None of those fortunes are coming to me.
So in addition to sleeve rhyming with Steve, is it also just a reference to like a record sleeve, like an album sleeve?
It's not, but it could be.
Oh.
What is it? Your tattoos? Did you get a sleeve?
It's literally because it rhymes. I want it to be more interesting than that, but it's not.
So you were a DJ in the mid 2000s, and that was kind of like, that was probably the best time in the 2000s to be a DJ, right?
It was an excellent time. Also, a lot of people, like everybody was a DJ in the mid 2000s at some level.
Yeah, but you were actually good at it in the hood internet. Like you guys specialized in mashups that blended hip hop and indie bands and in a witty, humorous way. And you were putting out mixtapes every month?
We started the Hood. My friend Aaron and I started the Hood Internet as like, it originally wasn't meant to be a DJ project. It was meant to be like a music blog, which was also very popular in the 2000s.
Right.
And so what we would do is like a couple times a week at first, is do exactly what you said, like, you know, mix hip hop and indie rock primarily. It wouldn't always follow that formula, but usually, and then, you know, like Photoshop the artists together, sometimes humorously, usually humorously, but you know, like we got it going with enough of a frequency that like other music blogs took notice. It got some steam, and after a few months, someone floated it out to us that we should try DJing it live. And what we did instead of that was more of a performance art bit where we like played the mixtape we had just made and then like pretended to put records inside of a laptop for an hour.
Right.
But then after that, we learned how to sort of, you know, like have our library of tracks with us and mix them on the fly and make better versions of them that had like intros and outros and sort of like, you know, reverse engineered DJing for ourselves versus the people that had been like practicing the craft for years and years.
Yeah, that stuff was good.
It was a great time to be a DJ. I'm pretty sure I met you in Smart Bar when I was DJing.
Yes, it was. I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were arguing about something. And then the next day I get an email from you, and it just said, "Lucas, I will fight you with fists." And so I don't remember what that was about.
It's a real threat when someone emails you the day after. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying. So we got a new segment tonight, or today. Gabe, are you ready for your new bit?
I didn't make it a bit. I just said I had an observation, and you said, let's make it a bit.
Hold on. We got music for the bit brought to you by Steve Reidell, formerly of Stv Slv.
I'm gonna play it, Steve. I got it queued up.
For the show, or?
Well, you don't play it right. You don't have to play it right now, but you want to play it right now, huh? Have you heard this, Gabe?
Back in Gabe Rodriguez days, TV was a hit parade.
Who's singing this?
Everybody had it made.
It's me.
Those were the Gabes.
Gabe Rodriguez's TV Corner.
That's fantastic.
I don't know what I like better, that or the Unpunk Gabe song, but
Oh, I didn't think you liked the Unpunk Gabe song.
it's funny. The fact that Steve doubled the vocals on this one, it makes it even better.
Oh, yeah. He's a fan of your double vocals.
I appreciate your attention to detail.
Come on, you're gonna write a theme song and make it to that song, and then you got to double the vocal. That's just too much.
Oh, is it originally a duet, right?
Yeah, the first draft of that was me doing my impression of of those voices from the Archie Bunker theme song, and then I just
I want to hear
scrap
that one.
that version.
You know what I want to do, and I've wanted to do this for years, is a version of Those Were the Days sung by Morrissey as Archie Bunker and Axl Rose as Edith.
Is that for real?
We're like 6 months away from you being able to enter that as an AI prompt, and it just like spitting right back out to you.
Come on. Girls were girls and men were men. I mean, it's just good stuff.
Give us your Axel now.
And you know where you are, then. It would work. It will work. And I don't need AI. So, Gabe, what do you got for us on TV Corner?
Gabe's TV. What's this bit called?
Gabe's TV Corner.
Okay, Gabe's TV Corner. Well, I wanted to talk about All in the Family because that show cracks me up at 51 years old and at 41, 31, 21, and 11. I was cracking up at that show over the years. But the other day, I saw an episode on YouTube, and they were celebrating Archie's 50th birthday on the show. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm 51. I'm older than Archie Bunker.
Right.
And
now,
you,
do you see
are
it?
older than... See what?
But you are Archie Bunker.
No, I'm not Archie Bunker.
You refuse
but
to
I'm
eat,
older.
Ethnic food. You won't eat Indian food.
You can't say ethnic food.
You're right. I can't. I'm sorry. That's what he would say.
Yes. But that show was clever. It was funny. It was groundbreaking. You know this stuff. I don't. Topical.
Exactly.
I'm thinking, but how do you feel about the fact that you, at 53, are 3 years older than Archie Bunker was in the Archie's heyday?
How old was Edith, for God's sake?
She was 35. But Gabe,
But she had lived.
Yeah, was that?
That woman has
Those are road years. But Gabe, was that episode where he turns 50 in the first season or later on?
It was later on. I think it was
Oh my
in the
God.
third or
So
fourth season.
So you're saying there's seasons of All in the Family where Archie isn't even 50 yet. He's in his 40s. That I'm finding hard to believe.
I believe so. I mean, I can't say for sure. The show started in 71, the year I was born, and it ran for 9 years. And in the middle of it
more like
somewhere,
an old man. I mean, him or Wilford Brimley? Wilford Brimley, right? That was the winner.
Okay, Carol O'Connor was born in 1924. So let's do the math. Let's figure out how old Carol O'Connor was in 1971. So 24, 34, 44, 54, 64. So he was, he was in his 40s. Good God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, how are we older than Archie Bunker?
Steve, any ideas how we're older than Archie
He was
Bunker?
Steve's. He was Steve's age. Steve,
He's
you are
Steve's
as
age when
old
they
as
started.
Archie Bunker in season 1.
Time is a flat circle.
What?
I can't explain this.
Back in Gabe Rodriguez days, TV was a hit parade. Everybody had it made. Those were the Gabes.
Gabe Rodriguez's TV Corner.
That was it, huh? That was your whole first TV corner. Just
It
talking
doesn't need
about
to
how
be.
old.
There's like a meme. I don't know if you call it a meme. There's like a Instagram reel, or maybe it's a TikTok thing. But it's going around. It's exactly what Gabe's been talking about. It's showing characters like Alice from Brady Bunch and like all of these, kind of characters that we remember. And it's like, this is what they were, supposedly on the show. And it's like they were like 43 or something. And you see them as this super old person, but it's really just like, in or around all of our current ages.
Yeah, but I don't think Gabe now looks as old as Carol O'Connor did.
He looks 30. I'm looking at him right now. He looks 30.
How much of it do you think is cigarettes and alcohol, but cigarettes? Like, I think everyone smoked back in those days.
Maybe it was just diet. Something's going on. Something's up. You think it's all cigarettes?
It's the wardrobe, the wood paneling on the walls. It's everything.
The video
Asbestos.
cameras?
The haircuts.
The bad lighting on the sets?
Probably a lot of hamburgers.
A lot of
This is a
hamburgers.
guess.
At
Yes,
Archie
but-
Bunker's place. How old was Archie in Archie Bunker's place?
Probably 8 or 9 years older than what he was during the show.
Okay, I'm
Well-
pulling the plug on Gabe's TV corner.
I thought you already did.
I'll fix it in the editing. So I just got back from New York, where Mike Shannon has directed a movie and premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. And our cover of Bob Dylan's Positively 4th Street, the Married Men's cover of Positively 4th Street, is in it. So that was cool. Went, and he used the whole thing, all 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the thing.
Wow.
On the final credits, he cranked it up. You say?
That's awesome.
He's directed before, or is this his first director debut?
His directorial debut.
All right.
Yes.
Hey.
I saw a picture of you with Alexander Skarsgård. Holy shit, that's exciting.
Right,
When's he-
Alex.
When is he
Go
going to
ahead.
be on the old Lifers?
Everybody's a target to lifers to you,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård is in the movie, so is Judy Greer. Judy Greer was not there, but Alexander was, and he was a delight. He was super tall, super nice. I don't know if I thought he would be. Mike introduced me to him, and he's like, "This is Scott." He's got the song at the end. He's like, "Oh, that's you." He's like getting into my face, kind of like asking me all these questions, and I started to freak out because I've been watching Succession like everybody else for the last month and a half, and I was like, "Am I on Succession?" I mean, it was really intense, and he was like right in my face, and I thought he was the character for a second. It was freaky.
And then did you get over that, or did he stop doing that, or?
I got over that. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was weird. But we talked about the infinity pool. And so it was cool.
We have not. and
We got a
really
pizza
should.
together.
Oh, where from?
Domino's.
Domino's does have the real Brooklyn pizza, so that's
When-
legit.
Yeah.
That's
When in
true.
New York, do like
When in New
Yorkers
York.
do.
Sparrow.
Yeah. We haven't talked.
So
at
Eric
all.
LaRue is the name of the movie. Michael's movie is Eric LaRue. It doesn't have a distribution yet, but keep your eyes, ears open.
I read a rave review in Variety, I think.
Variety gave it a good review, huh?
Yeah.
Or was it Deadline?
Oh, maybe.
Or was it the News Sun?
Was it the Zion Weekly?
The Zionist, yeah.
The Zionist. Scott, we have yet to talk about your sojourn in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago when you played a couple shows. How'd those go for you?
With live?
Yeah.
They were delightful. The tour, the whole past few weeks, guys, has been breathtaking.
Really?
Just breathtaking. Have you noticed everything's breathtaking these days? Like, wait till you see these pictures of little old what's-her-face all grown up. They're breathtaking. Wait till you see these pictures of so-and-so's kids. They're breathtaking. You guys seen this shit?
Yeah.
Who's taking these pictures? And who's talking like they're all breathtaking? I don't think anything's breathtaking. Breathtaking is something you just take a breath. Who cares? No big deal.
It's a very misused term.
Well,
Like,
that is a good point. What is the point of the term breathtaking? Like, yeah, everyone takes a breath every 2 seconds. So
it's like they think that you're going to look at a picture of a child star all grown up and go,
they mean gasp inducing.
I guess so. I mean, I was reading something the other day. I get these emails, these menu, food, whatever emails, and the headline says, Dolly Parton puts an unexpected ingredient in her coleslaw, and it's breathtaking. So you're like,
that's clickbait.
and I clicked. Big. I gotta check out this fucking coleslaw. So check this out. Some guy named Zach Waxer. That's his name, Zach Waxer. Writing for I don't know what is this? Recipes. What is the name of this fucking thing? I don't even know why.
But Zach
Food
Waxer
Talk.
spells
It's
it.
for
He
Food
spells
Talk.
it. He spells it ZCKWXR, a la Stv Slv.
No.
So it's cool. So he's cool.
It's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm listening.
He spells it the usual way. So Zach Waxer's famous, Dolly Parton's famous coleslaw. When it comes to iconic figures in the world of music, Dolly Parton's name is virtually synonymous with talent, charisma, and an unapologetic zest for life. I mean, an unapologetic zest for life. Ooh, you got to edit that one. But did you know that behind her captivating melodies, Dolly has a hidden culinary prowess? I sure didn't. I recently stumbled upon a revelation that I had to try. Dolly Parton's coleslaw recipe. With a mix of excitement and curiosity, I set out to try it. Who's ever been excited and curious to try coleslaw?
Not me.
I mean, do you guys see the level of hyperbole we're dealing with? Am I
I'm
the
sorry.
only one?
This website is what is this? The website is called FoodNet. It's not
called-
real. That's not a website.
It's called Food Talk, is what it's called.
Food Talk. All right.
Food
Let's
Talk.
get back into how did you wind up on this e-newsletter?
Somehow,
to begin with.
I get emails from them, and I've been trying to get out of it, but with stuff like this, so
I just gotta click.
I had to. Oh, is coleslaw breathtaking? One bite of Dolly Parton's coleslaw, and you'll know that the dressing is the star of the show. Her coleslaw recipe brings joy to your taste buds, and I'm actually really happy about how much I enjoy this dish.
This sounds perverted. Dolly Parton's coleslaw.
It's perverse. Dolly's positive energy must be infectious in a totally good way. I mean, whose positive energy is not infectious in a good way? Are you? Am I the only one?
So you have it in for this writer, not just the word breathtaking. It's this writer in general.
Zach Waxer. Zach Waxer. Please come on the podcast.
Buddies with Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher and Zach Waxer.
We need to
I
talk
like
to you.
Jack Reacher.
Zach Waxer, Food Talk editor. I hope it brings as much joy to your day as it does to mine. If coleslaw brings as much joy to your day, you're a fucking psychopath.
I just did a Google search for Zach Waxer, and it did. You know how Google fills in what it thinks you're going to be looking for? The first fill in is Zach Waxer breathtaking. So this must be an actual thing. That's crazy.
Anywhere down the list did it say Zach Waxer gasp inducing? Or no?
No.
All right. So that one hasn't caught on yet. It will.
I mean, culinary masterpiece. Coleslaw. I mean, we all love Dolly. She can do no wrong.
It's true.
But she's not making breathtaking coleslaw.
Excuse me. Have you seen the movie that she did with Stallone?
Excuse me. With Stallone?
Rhinestone?
Yeah. That's gasp-inducing. All right. Well, that's all I got. Good night, everybody.
That was a breathtaking segment.
Steve, can you work up a breathtaking theme song?
Sure.
We'll fix it in post.
I do have a list of synonyms for breathtaking.
Cinnamons?
We'll do something that uses the melody of Berlin, Take My Breath Away.
Breathtaking.
Nice.
Duh.
Speaking of 80s
Zach
anthems,
Waxer.
well, are we going to bring this up? This 1982 prom stuff? What's going on?
Oh yeah,
We should.
We're 52 minutes into this podcast.
We
Good
should.
God.
Speaking of things that Steve reaches out and offers his help on, Coverboy. Before Coverboy even had a name, even had members, Steve calls me and says, "Hey, heard you need some help with this Coverboy thing. I'm in." So
I named the band before it had a name.
Yeah.
That's how,
Next thing you
that's
know,
how
he's playing.
prescient I am. I knew that I got people on the inside, and I knew that Kelly Way was bringing the prom back to Metro, Smart Bar, G-Man, and I heard that Scott was going to get a band together, and I reached out and I said, "Hey Scott, I heard you're needing to get a band together." I don't know, I can't remember what I texted, but the idea of doing like a sort of late 70s, early 80s prom seemed really awesome. And it was Scott that came up with the name. I had a lot of suggestions, no real winners. But Scott nailed it.
So the whole idea of Coverboy is it has to all be songs from 1982, right?
Yep, the prom was themed Waiting for You in 1982.
Uh-huh.
And that was easy boundaries. Just only music from 1982.
Right.
Except let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way right now. A prom in 1982 would not have been consisting solely of songs that were released in 82.
No.
But for our purposes and for Coverboy's purposes, these were just songs that were released in 1982, right?
There was some talk about that. Well, there was some talk about like, was this like a carryover hit? Was this still on the charts from 81? But I think, and Max at one point was suggesting like, hey, let's play. It was some song from 1986. And I'm like, that hasn't even happened yet. Right. But it was a good like set of boundaries, like songs that were released in 82.
But I don't really want to pick this apart too much, Ben, because if the whole thing falls apart like a house of cards, then where will we be? It'll be anarchy.
That's true, but I just want to throw one more caveat out there. There are also plenty of songs that were released in the second half of 1982 that would have been too late for a spring prom.
Now you're getting too deep into the weeds. Come on. See? 82.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, so dig into
That's all we need to do.
Okay, so in honor of Coverboy's next show, which we don't know when it's actually going to be, we're going to do, if we were prom DJs, what would your top 3 go-to 1982 prom songs be? Right? That's what we're doing. You down with this, Gabe?
Yes, I'm down.
Now, you're not going to put in Number of the Beast and shit, are you?
No, it's stuff that would have to be prom-centric.
Okay. All right. I mean, you could play that for the stoners if you want, but, you know,
No,
But you've
they
got the
didn't go
right
to
idea.
prom.
You've
They
got
didn't
the
go to
right.
prom.
Yes, you're right. You've got the right idea. Okay, so it's another edition of What's the Best featuring our best prom songs of 1982. What's the best? So Ben, it seems like you've given this the most thought. Amazingly, since you're not in a 1982 cover band like Steve and I are, but you've given it the most thought. So why don't you go first?
Well, the other thing that's interesting is was anybody in the band actually at a prom in '82? It seems like it's before everyone's time a little bit.
Maybe Max?
Oh, maybe Max. Yeah,
Maybe Max.
My high school prom, which I didn't go to, would have been '84. So
But
I
we
did
all
go to
have
my.
to use our imagination.
Sure.
What would be the best 82 prom songs?
So I was thinking of bangers and slow dances and songs that I thought, well, this will just fill the floor. And then I was also thinking of songs that would clear the floor, because in my college DJ days, I was famous for picking the wrong song and everyone leaving the dance floor at our Friday night dances on campus. Anyway, so what are you saying? You want me to pick one of my top three?
Pick your three.
You want me to do all
songs that
three? What?
We'll go down the line. You know,
Okay,
it's three. Everybody gets their three. We'll go down the line. But if you pick a song that's on my list before I get to the song, I have to come up with an alternate.
Okay.
And that goes for all of yous.
All right. I like
So it's
this.
one. So it's one per category.
There are no categories. Ben,
In my brain there are, but we're not going to do that on the air.
right.
On air, right?
I mean, I kind of made categories.
Oh, what were your categories?
Not my categories, but reasons for why I picked each song, which some of those have to do with categories and why you would play them. Because, like, Steve, as a DJ, you know that a night has different moods, right?
Yeah, you got to read the crowd. I might want to play Genesis's 1982 Paper Late, but that crowd might not be feeling that, and I got to know that when I see them.
Exactly.
That's a given.
I'm sorry, what?
That's a given that the crowd doesn't want to hear Papier, whatever you're talking about. I don't know.
Gabe, how do you know that without seeing the crowd?
It's got to be a particular crowd.
Did you just say Pepe?
Somebody's been watching Seinfeld again.
What the hell is paper late? Is that a word?
I don't think so.
Well, it's two words. Two words, one after the other.
Okay.
That's the other important part. Like, close your eyes, Gabe, and picture the crowd. Are you closing your eyes? I can see you. I know you're not closing your eyes. Close your eyes. As Steve says, you have to picture the crowd. Now, read the crowd as you're picturing them.
I got it. Ben goes first, though.
All right. I'll go
But while
first.
Ben's reading his answer, I want you to keep your eyes closed.
My first pick comes from an artist who I was obsessed with throughout the first half of the 1980s. Both when he had a band and then when he went solo. And my 82 prom song from this particular artist would be Adam Ant, Goody Two Shoes from 1982. That's my first banger, my prom banger.
So that's your idea of a prom banger, Goody Two Shoes.
East Coast. Let me point out that in the 80s, there was a big
Adam
difference
Ant
in
was
what
not from the
going
East
on.
Coast.
No, but he was king of the East Coast Brooklyn proms. He wasn't king of them, but we knew of him. Me and my friends, kids in high
It's
school,
his best song.
junior high school.
King of the East Coast.
Because I met my wife, who's from Wisconsin, when we were in college, 84 to 88, and she brought with her to New York a whole other list of radio hits that I knew nothing of, that were Midwest radio hits, like Off Broadway and all kinds of bands like that. And I'm like, oh, I've never heard these fucking things.
Right.
And at the same time, there were a lot of these new wave hits that had made it from England, maybe as far as New York, and then never made it the rest of the way, or at least not for a while. So, Goody Two Shoes, which I believe was a national hit, but there you go. Adam Ant, Goody Two Shoes.
Number 3. I can see that filling the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabe, how about you?
Well, when I think of Prom in '82, I think of like roller skating music. So I got to pick between one of two songs. I'm going to pick at the last minute here. Let It Whip.
Ooh.
Is that the Gap Band?
That's the Gap Band.
That's
a
hit.
Daz band.
Oh, it's the Daz Band. Is it?
Ooh, I get those two mixed up.
Daz Gap It?
The Gap Band is also had a great 82 hit.
Don't blow it for me. It might be my number 2.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
all right. I won't say it.
Let It Whip. That is a, what do you call it? Gets
That's
the
the
fans out
Daz
of their
Band.
seats?
Or is that the Gap Band? The
That's the
Daz
Daz
Band.
Band. The
Daz
Gap
Band.
Band is, I'll say it and we can cut it out if it turns out to be something you had, Gabe. You dropped a bomb on me.
You dropped a
Come
bomb on me.
You're blowing it for me.
That's
Oh, did I blow it? Okay. Well, you can
No,
still
we
have
didn't.
it. It can still be yours.
That's why I thought it was the Gap Band. Okay, the Daz Band. I never heard of the Daz
Let
Band.
It Whip might be better.
I
Yeah.
picked it. I picked it number 3 on my list. What do you say when people
Let's
out of their
Groove
seats?
Tonight better.
That's pretty good. Who's that? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's
Okay.
right. Okay. Steve,
I picked Let It Whip.
Let It Whip. Number 3. DJ Gabe.
Gabe picked my song.
Wow.
That was gonna. I mean, I have other. Don't worry, I got other songs.
What are the chances?
I think that Grandmaster Flash, The Message.
Ooh.
I think that that kind of fits the dance floor filler and banger category for me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good pick.
Love it.
Love it. Okay, so me, number 3 would be Melt With You, because they would get the new wavers and the poppers alike. And for me, is there a song that feels more like 1982? It just feels like 1982. I don't really
even know
like
that
it.
song. What is that song? I don't
I'll
even know
melt.
that song.
Melt With You by
Yeah, you
Modern
do.
English.
I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Oh, okay.
It was in a Burger King commercial.
I thought that was Big Country.
He gives me, oh, okay. Scott, that's a terrible choice.
Oh boy.
It's pretty bad.
Wow.
I don't like it. I just think it will fill the floor, and it will appeal to new wavers. And anyway, fuck you, Ben.
All right, my second song is going to be my slow dance. It's a band that I saw open for Split Ends at the Dr. Pepper Music Festival. And I was like, whoa,
So
what
two
is
of my
this?
favorite things.
Yeah, these guys have nothing but hits. What the fuck is this band? And then the album came out a week later or something, and I got it, and I was like, there's no bad songs on this thing. But the one that I probably really listened to more than any other, Duran Duran, Save a Prayer from Rio.
Wow,
That's my slow
Save a
dance.
prayer. Is that a
that's
deep
your
cut?
slow dance.
Yeah, it's not a big hit. I don't even know if it was. Did they release it as
It's
a
a
single?
hit.
Probably not.
I didn't realize it was on Rio.
Yes. Don't say a prayer for me now. Save it till
Save
the
it for
morning
the
after,
morning
which is clever because the name of the song is Save a Prayer, but they actually split that phrase among those two lines.
Put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah, somebody had to.
Gabe, have you put any thought into your number 2 choice?
My number 2 choice. I'm going to steal it from somebody here too. You're going to have it. The song that gets your asses out of the seats and puts you on the dance floor. I can picture all the smoke coming up. 1999 by Prince. 1982. Doesn't that fill the dance
82.
floor?
That's
What,
83.
82?
Isn't that 83? Am I wrong?
No, I looked it up.
No, it's
I did my
82.
research.
It's 82.
Back me up, Steve.
Yep, he's got it.
Think of how prescient Prince was. He was already singing about 1999 in 1982. Incredible. Foresight.
Well, you know, they're talking about 1984 and 19 whatever. George
When was that
Orwell
book
wrote
written?
that book.
30s, 50s?
Anyway, that's the song.
That's a
1999.
good pick.
You had it on your list, didn't you?
No, I just never think of Prince as from 82. I always think of 83 and definitely 84. I mean, 84 belongs to Prince. Good pick. I'm a little angry. That's a good pick. I like the way you're really building these up too. Have you written this stuff down?
No, this is all from the cuff.
From the cuff?
He wrote it
From
on
the
his
hip.
cuff. He wrote it on his
This is
cuff.
on my cuff. Let's get it off this cuff.
He's got a ace up his sleeve, his Stv Slv, and he's got the songs written on his cuff.
Steve, what do you got?
All right. Well, now I'm sort of vacillating between picking a slow dance and another dance floor banger. I'm gonna go dance floor. I'm going Yaz Situation.
Wow.
Heater.
Yes.
Heater and a huge hit.
Yeah, I feel like some of these picks would not have flown in Zion, Gabe.
Right.
What are you thinking?
East Coast,
maybe?
Midwest. Big difference.
Is Yaz the same as Yazoo?
Yes.
Who knows this stuff?
Everybody.
I never heard this song in my life.
They were
rest my
Yazoo.
case.
They were Yazoo, but there already was a Yazoo here, so they had to change it to Yaz for the States.
It could have been Yaz Jr. or Yaz US.
Yazoo.
Could have been.
US.
Yes.
Find this song.
Yazos.
Kanye West's famous album Yazzus.
All right, I'm going to go with a slow dance as well for my number 2. This is a slow dance that would get the Heshers and the creepy older boyfriends out on the floor. Just Between You and Me by April Wine. Just enough of there's some guitar solos in there that people would be like, all right, yeah, I'll dance with this chick. Bogging me all night.
Wasn't it in Carrie in the prom scene?
No.
I know. I'm just teasing. Great. That's a great choice, Scott.
Yeah.
Nicely
Okay.
done.
Great one. Also in Cover Boy's repertoire.
It is. Have we not done any cover boy repertoire songs yet?
So
I'm becoming like Johnny 2 times. I have to say,
Jason Jason wanted to play jazz band. We just didn't do it.
He did. That was definitely on his list. Gabe.
We'll get there.
Next time
It's
Gabe
my turn?
says, no, we were just referencing one of your songs. Hoping you were going to make a funny comment.
I'm about to
Gabe
call an
isn't.
audible here. I found a different song. Go
Hang on
ahead.
a second. It's my turn.
Okay.
So
do an
this
honorable
is
mention.
this is my last one. This is my number 1, I guess.
This is it. Show's almost over.
So this is I had after we're done, we'll give you my also rans and other things
No.
I was thinking about. Oh, it's
Nope.
gonna be the best part of the show.
This is it.
So because Steve just did a Yazoo song, I was gonna go with a different Yazoo
They were never
song
called
from the album.
Yazoo. Like, I hate to sound like Gabe here, but no, it was always Yaz. Yazoo?
Nope. That's
You're
right.
making this
That's
shit
their
up.
real. That's their real name. Am I right, Stv Slv?
I think Yazoo is that little alien from the Flintstones.
That's right.
Not according to Gabe. Gabe
Back
thinks
to
it's
Gabe's
the
TV
Great
corner.
Yazoo.
I thought it was Marvin the Marsh.
Yeah, right. Marvin the Martian.
I don't know.
So I was gonna pick Yaz or Yazoo.
Work from work.
I was gonna pick "Don't Go," which I think is a big dance hit. But I'm gonna drop that because who needs 2 Yazoo songs in the
Nobody.
right?
I repeat.
So I'm gonna
nobody.
go with the obvious banger. I mean, I never liked this song that much, but goddamn, did this bring people out to the floor? Billy Idol, "White Wedding."
Whoa. See, once again, I feel like this song is 83. I didn't go through and go by year. I just kind of thought of songs and checked to make sure that they were 82. But I just never, it just doesn't strike me as an 82 song. I hated music in 82 when I was a kid. It was an affront to a metalhead.
Mm-hmm.
things that I dig about it now, at the time, I found it very threatening.
I got in 1982. I got invited. A bunch of my friends and I in high school got invited to the taping of like a sort of an American Bandstand ripoff called "We're Dancing," and they were taping it in New York.
Clever title.
We got to the studio, and there were 3. I think we shot like 3 episodes in a row. But and so these musical artists of the day showed up in this tiny little studio, lip synced to a song or two. We were dancing. I was wearing like a skinny tie and a fucking fedora, all sorts of shit. But Billy Idol was one of the bands that came and lip synced for us, and he did White Weddings.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Gabe.
Well, I was going to call an audible here, but this song says 1983. It also says 82 on Wikipedia. I don't know what it is. If I say it, it might not qualify. I don't want to be disqualified here. Should I say it?
It's all right. We're not that
If
harsh.
you say it, it might not come true.
This song is the epitome of early 80s. White Horse by the Laid Back. Does that count? Is it too late in the game? Scott, you're laughing.
Gabe is such a laid-back DJ. I was just surprised. When it comes to the dance floor, Gabe don't fuck around.
What's the fascination with riding the white horse in 1982 or 83? Everybody wanted to ride the white horse.
No. If you want to ride, don't ride the white horse.
Is it? I thought you're supposed to ride the white horse.
No.
Don't
ride the white horse.
It's a cautionary tale.
Have you not been listening to those lyrics?
Maybe I got it mixed up with Eric Clapton's Cocaine. If you want to hang out, down on the ground, cocaine.
That's right.
So if you want to ride the white horse. Or it's don't ride the white horse, you're saying. Or ride pony. What is it?
It's true. Rich. Bitch.
Does that count? Is it 83 or 82?
I don't know.
I bet it's one of those situations. I'm not even looking, but if you're seeing both, it's probably like the single came out in 82 and then like a album version in 83.
Okay, so I say it counts. Laid back.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was
if
your...
you want to ride,
don't
the
say your
lyrics
other
are,
one.
if you want to ride, don't ride the white horse. And then at the very end, it says, ride the white pony. If you want to ride the white pony. So don't ride the white horse, ride the white pony.
Ride the white pony. What's the white pony?
And, just do a little bit of heroin or something. I don't know. Or,
Excedrin.
You wanted to hear the other song I was going to pick, Scott?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, somebody else might pick.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay, Steve, number 3 or number 1. Your last pick.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 songs. It's not cheating. It's just that one is an intro. So what we're going to
Feel
do
Enough's Enough coming on.
Is Alan Parsons' project Sirius into New Order Temptation.
Wait. They're not part of the same song.
That's why I'm a great DJ. No one else would do that.
You know what?
Just New Order Temptation. You don't have to play the intro.
You know what I did once? I played a Graham Parsons tribute show, and we started off with Sirius.
That's my kind of joke.
Yeah, it's not bad. They were not happy. They were not happy about it. No one was happy. They were so mad.
After the first song, you're like, oh shit, you guys are not going to like the rest of the set then.
No, the rest of this is not going for you.
Graham Parsons broke out of his grave and came and yelled at you.
Yeah. I'd still be more afraid of Alan Parsons alive than Graham Parsons dead. That guy's a creepy motherfucker. All right, my number 1. Gabe's not going to like this. I'm Not a Loser by The Descendants. Come on, it'd be for the punk kids in the corner who've been sneering and talking shit all night. And I could also have it be my last song because after they hear it, the chaperones are going to pull the plug.
That's 82?
It's 82.
Wow, we're old.
Well, you look 30, but you're acting like Archie Bunker right now.
Yeah.
I was gonna pick a different song. Can
What
I
were
say
you
it?
going to pick?
Human League, Don't You Want Me?
That was going to be your number one.
That was my number one. I scratched it at the last minute.
That was in my alternates. What other alternates did you guys have?
I had Talk Talk by Talk Talk. I had What? You want to say something about that?
No, I was just like, I thought you were talking about Talk Talk by, I don't know, Huey Lewis or Talk Talk by Judas Priest.
There is some more. There's a Talk 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 song. I had Human Nature by Michael Jackson.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Slow Dance.
Knowing all that those kids didn't know you were going to play that song.
Yeah. Say Hello, Wave Goodbye by Soft Cell.
I don't know that one. Gabe?
I don't know any of these songs. Maybe
walked off
Human
the
Nature.
floor.
Carnival of Sorts Boxcar by REM.
See, that would have
Cleared the floor.
cleared the floor.
Stepping Out, Joe Jackson. Another
Maybe.
another floor clearer.
Oh, man. It's too bad. It's a great song.
Did you guys know, I guess everyone must know this, but for some reason I didn't know this till today, that Abracadabra by Steve Miller, which we have talked about, has a line that says black panties with an angel's face? What is that about? Something about leather and lace, black panties with an angel's face. What is he talking about?
And how long you been waiting to bring this up?
All he knows is he's going to reach out and grab you.
Yeah. Judas Priest,
Hey.
you got another thing coming? How did nobody say Judas Priest, you got another thing coming? That would have been a great banger at the prom.
We decided not to.
You just said
Kind of the
leather
same
and
reason. Which one?
leather and lace.
Yeah.
That could have been a slow dancer from 82.
Could have been.
And
been.
wait, did you guys do Asia Heat of the Moment in Coverboy?
We did. And it was amazing. It brought the house down.
But how about
Dare
this?
I say it was better than Asia's original version.
Maybe one of the best songs of 82.
You
Maybe
dare.
one of my favorite songs of all time. English Beat, Save It for Later.
We did
Also
that
on
one.
Coverboy's repertoire.
Oh, nice. Goodbye to You, Scandal. Anybody? Did you do that one?
No.
Good. Scorpions.
Patty Smythe?
Yeah. Scandal.
Patty Smythe and Scandal.
Yeah.
Gabe doesn't know the difference between Patty Smythe and Patty Smith.
Who's who here?
I'm calling you
Patty,
out.
Patty Smith was the song. What does she sing?
Gabe.
Warrior.
Who
I am
sings the warrior?
Gloria something. Brannigan.
What'd you say?
Gloria Brannigan.
Gloria Brannigan, he said. Gloria.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
I get them all mixed up. All these 82 singers, I get them all mixed up.
Patty Smith has nothing to do with 82.
Got a couple floor clearers. Taco pudding on the Ritz.
That would have been a floor filler in my high school.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
I feel like Thomas Dolby would have cleared the floor.
Science?
Blinding
Yeah.
with Science?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's another big hit.
It's a hit, but
I was 3 in 82. I have no fucking idea. What about slow dancers? Kenny Loggins, Heart to Heart.
Yeah. I don't
No?
know. See,
Too
something
mid-tempo?
else you guys might not know is that Steve did a yacht rock cruise called Stay Smooth, so he's very well versed in the etiquette of yacht rock. So in his mind, Kenny Loggins songs from 1982 were panty droppers.
Right. Well, Steve, let me ask you about this. What's the difference between Air Supply's Even the Nights Are Better and Arthur's Theme? Is there a difference between those two songs, or are they the same song?
It's pretty close.
They're not even on the same continent, my friend. There's a huge difference.
Nope. It's pretty close. The vibe is the same.
The vibe.
The vibes. People talked about vibes a lot. People judge things by vibes in 1982.
I will take Air Supply over Christopher Cross any day.
Yeah, me too.
Gabe, your thoughts?
where do we get tickets to this yacht rock cruise is the real question.
We haven't done one in a minute, but I'm gonna let you know next time we got one popping up. I know you're gonna be there.
Did you guys do Scorpions? No One Like You at Coverboy?
No.
Would love.
We didn't do a lot of metal. I feel like the only song that would even get close to qualifying as metal was Alda
Fantasy?
Nova.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get working on Run to the Hills. Crickets.
Well, we did the first time Steve was on the show was episode 5. We say, right?
That's what we say.
That's what we say. That's what we tell people.
Before our reoccurring bit of Replacements versus Iron Maiden.
A reoccurring nightmare.
So we got to ask Steve if you had to pick between the two bands.
Steve, how
Replacements.
long have you been waiting for this moment?
He's been waiting for it. I can
Also,
see his eyes.
let's mention something that isn't going to be part of the live podcast, but Steve had a pre-show mix both nights at G-Man where it was Replacements versus Iron Maiden, alternating back and forth.
Yes, and subliminally,
That's how we got the gig.
I think he likes Iron Maiden because he was playing all the long songs from Maiden and these 2-minute songs from Replacements. It was great.
So your money, Gabe, based on Steve's mixes, is that Steve is going to go for Iron Maiden.
Yes, I put money on it. I say it's a
How
70.
much money are you putting on?
It's a 70-30 proposition here. I think 7 out of 10 times he's going to sing Iron Maiden.
He's going to what, Iron Maiden? Sing Iron Maiden?
No, he's going to say it. That's who he picks. He's trying to be close.
7
keep
out
it
of
to the
30,
dust here.
did you say? Or
Did I say 7 out of 30?
70-30. He said some
He's
weird.
doing ratios. He's a numbers guy.
You're a ratioist.
Yes, I'll give you odds.
I did one. I did one cue when Herb was talking and started playing Nightclub Jitters by the Replacements, which was a good on the fly moment. Just a little. You don't really hear it. It's just a ride cymbal chilling in the
great.
back.
You did a nice on the fly of Rhymer the Ancient Mariner, though. It was a really good stinger.
When I was talking about the bird shit on my head?
No, he just went.
Is that song called? I'm sorry. I'm. It's called "Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner," like a rhyme, like a nursery rhyme.
Yes, but it's spelled
So it's a-
R-I-M-E.
And what is the? But does that have a different meaning? Does RIME have a different meaning than RHYME?
No, I think it's just an old.
It's an old-timey spelling.
old school way of
But it's a song about this ancient mariner's rhyme, like a story that the ancient mariner tells.
This ancient
And-
mariner was a bit of a rhyme slinger or a rhyme sayer, a rhyme teller, if you will.
like a hip hop artist.
So that's why
He's a
the song.
rhymist.
That's why that song takes 13 minutes. There's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot to rhyme.
He thought it was the rind of the ancient mariner. This is how I fight off the scurvy. This rind, it's a magical rind.
Well,
So why don't
Gabe,
you answer the question?
I'm sorry, Gabe,
Steve.
but it's Replacements.
I was trying to steer you my way, but you didn't fall for it.
I
Steve,
didn't.
did you almost fall into his trap?
I was so close. Like he is right.
So deftly.
He is right. I did play some of those longer songs. No, it's
I did play some of those longer songs. Why did I do that? Think, Steve. Think. Search your soul.
secretly. No, it's always been Replacements for me. I grew up in Minnesota, so it's sort of like,
You didn't know that, did you, Gabe?
yeah.
You didn't put it in the email saying you grew up in Minnesota. That would have changed my tune.
That's some info. That's some inside information you could have used. Now, pay up, sucker.
We didn't bet.
There's a lot of money
70-30.
riding on this.
$70.30.
70 out of 30.
I think, I mean, it's not just the Minnesota thing. I think Kyle Kinane kind of, hit it in the right frame of mind, that the Replacements like fit all these different moods. And Gabe, you might argue that Iron Maiden does that as well. What did he say? Like, why are we always galloping?
Yeah, galloping was that?
You know what? If galloping's your thing, that's all good. But replacement.
If you're riding the white horse or the white pony, you're galloping along to.
If you want to rind the white horse, if you want to rhyme the white horse.
See, but even with our DJ choices, like, Ben tried to, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that for this mood and that. And Gabe was like, no, man, I'm playing it laid back the whole time. Let's get on the floor and boogie. So their DJ styles mirror their fan styles.
But you two gents, Steve and Scott, you guys
What'd you
have
call us?
actually, you two guys. What'd you think?
He said gents.
Gents, okay.
Oh, did I say
that's right.
gents? You two gents.
Gents.
You have actually both DJ'd professionally in the clubs, so to speak. What's your best and worst DJ experience stories?
Playing Genesis Paper Late in 1982 when I was 3 years old. It was my first. No, I'm sorry.
At the prom. Get that kid off the ones and twos.
Send him to bed.
The worst DJ gig for me was at Shuba's. They do those nights and nobody would be there. There'd be a band playing downstairs, but the DJ was upstairs and nobody wanted to go upstairs. So Blake and I are up there, and we're just like this. Nothing's going on. No one's here. No one's been here for the last hour. Everything's downstairs. Fuck this. So we decided to loop the beginning of Eminence Front. Just that goes on, and we go, let's go downstairs and have a few drinks. We're downstairs for about a half an hour, and it's just not thinking of anything. We go upstairs and it's packed, and they've been sitting around 20 minutes.
That got
just
him.
listening
That
to
was a floor filler, man.
No, they were ready to rip us apart.
Did you just take it off that loop and just play the rest of the song?
Well, you had to get into something else.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's tough.
Oh man, that's a good idea for a cover boy set.
Just play that riff over.
Yeah, if you got a 3-set show, that's set 2 right there.
It's appropriate.